I'm Peggy Pownall.
Tell me about your work.
Well, I'm an abstract painter, usually working in acrylic and watercolor, sometimes oil. And the work that I do is often multimedia, mixed media, with a lot of elements of collage in it. This particular one is just acrylic. Some of the other work like this one has some maps in the background kind of buried in it. I do a lot of layering. I like for the painting to have a surface with a history to it, and so there's a lot of layers. Another element that I use quite a bit in my work is stitching. Here are two pieces from a series that have some hand stitching in them incorporated in with the painting. And I've used quite a bit of stitching in my work as well as pattern pieces. Yes, here's one that has a lot of stitching in it. Old pattern pieces, some elements where the pieces of the work are held together by hooks and eyes, so it's got that reference to sewing. This body of work is a very personal series about my grieving process and my healing process after losing my husband quite suddenly a few years ago. And I started using his clothing as part of my process. Yes, his jackets and his ties and his pants. I first started with his shirts that I started creating these orbs that are composed of sewing pattern pieces, and then the shirts that have been cut up and then wrapped and stitched together. So very painstaking, labor-intensive process, which just sort of helped me work through. And this one, for instance, is composed of circles that I've cut out from his shirts, the white part, and from his slacks, the dark parts that are then hand-stitched onto the canvas. Again, very labor-intensive, very meditative in terms of the process.
What would you say people like about your work?
The color. I hear a lot about my colors. I think that my work often appeals to people like me who like a lot of intensity in terms of process, in terms of repetition, detail. So I always sort of tend to do work that's that has a very systematic process to it. And so I think it often will appeal to someone else who's working on creating order out of life's chaos. So that's often what it's about.
I love your work. Keep up the good work.
Thank you. Thank you so much.